My people, my Biafran people, now how on a day I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, the one and only ESN, Ekpa, Simon and Njoku, for the great job Simon is doing. Simon, we want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra is coming, in your hands Biafra is safe, and in your hands when Biafra comes, the people of Biafra will rejoice. My fellow Biafrans, men and women, boys and girls, our parents, our esteemed elders, those in the office of leadership, those in the position of powers and the influencers. Today, I'm going to break down a very brief broadcast or presentation by our Prime Minister during the fundraising. He made a very vital information that we must expound on. I am going to title today's topic as Time for All Biafrans to Come on Board. It is time for all Biafrans to come on board. Because at this point, at this juncture, we need all hands on deck. We need everybody, boys, girls, men, women, children, old and young, those they call the civilized and those they call the uncivilized, the rich and the poor, those who claim they are men of God, those who claim they are servants of God. Today, this afternoon, tonight, I want us to please come on board. As long as you are a Biafran, you are invited. I am reaching out to all those who identify themselves as Biafrans. If we are part of the older Eastern region, when the zoo was created in 1960, if you find yourself, if you find your map, if you find your locality, if you found your boundary, to be part of those areas that they call the older Eastern region, then I want you to know that you are a Biafran. And today, I want to invite you to come on board. Today, I shall keep it very civil. I will keep it professional, because I'm about to analyze a very important message from our Prime Minister. So if you're ready, you're welcome to this journey. Listen.
Of course, as you all know, things have changed. A lot of responsibility has come to us as well, in the name of the legal team as well. So the Biafra government have now more responsibility. Biafrans did not know that before now, the Biafra government has its own legal team, which have been doing a lot of work. The reason why we didn't make it public, even up to now, we are not going to make it public, apart from the statement I'm going to make now. So the reason why we don't make it public is because we do not want to validate Nigeria as such. We do not want to give any credence to, and the rule of law has failed. So, but at the same time, we are also, doing something on the ground to help as many Biafrans as possible. But while that was going on, we have never made it public. Never have we made it public. And it is not going to be public other than what the statement I'm making now. So but what I have to tell to Biafra people today is that a lot of work has been done on the ground, and the Biafra government have its own legal team. That legal team remain anonymous, but now we have officially taken full responsibility of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu legal team. So that is a new development. So the responsibility of the government also have increased, but that shouldn't be a reason for for propaganda or what comes with it. So our focus as a government is to make sure that we secure our land, make sure that our military, our army, our resistance fighters are funded, make sure that we provide them with enough sophisticated weapon, enough material to protect our women and our children. The thing as a government, what we should do and what we are doing is to make sure that our people are not getting killed like other people in Nigeria are getting killed. It is the responsibility of this Biafra government. And that responsibility we are going to take till the day of the declaration of the restoration of independence state of Biafra. So whatever you have done so far and what you are going to do will always be channeled to the protection and the defense of Biafra territory. So please, Biafra people, those of you who were still hanging on the fence or trying to, watch how it goes before you fall in, this is not the time to wait anymore. It is time you join forces with us. It is time you come on board and serve Biafra government, serve Biafra people in any capacity you can. So this fundraising is very, very important because without fund, we are not going anywhere. Every person, every organization, every country that is at war need fund and need resources. And Biafra government in exile is not exceptional to that. So please, your support as a Biafra is needed. Your support as a friend of Biafra is needed, no matter how little, no matter how big. I want to inform Biafra people that remember that we are now, very soon, we will be unveiling our digital currency, the Biafra coin. This needs a lot of resources, and then also we need to make this particular coin, go into digital market and into financial market. It is something that all of us have to do. I'm talking about between now and March, between today, the 10th of February, and the March 10th, we should be able to have our digital currency out there. It's a big task, but we have to do it. We want to move as fast as possible. And this requires a lot of resources. And so as we are protecting our land with arms and ammunition, we are also sourcing for fund to make sure that we have our own coin, we have our own digital currency. And from there, we move to the normal, banking system and banking sectors. It's going to take a lot of time, but it's something that we must do. As our self-referendum is ongoing, we have recorded a lot of success, but it is still not enough. We have to work very hard to get as many votes as possible. And whatever that we have out there today is just an estimation. We're not counting the vote at this point. We will just give an estimate to those medias who requested for the estimated voters. So that we have given, and as you can see, most of the Zoom media have reported they are not letting us rest. Every day they are asking what is the vote, what is the number, and all that. So we have given them the estimated voters, as we can see from our record, and we expect that vote will increase. But we need a lot of work. We need to do a lot of work. We still have now till May for the first stage of this voting. So please, this particular fundraising weekly is very, very important, and we are appreciating those of you who have supported it up to this point. But now that the case and the issue is very clear, now that it is very clear who is a Nigerian agent and who is not, now that it is now very clear who is working for Biafra freedom and who is not, it is time, those of you who are genuinely supporting Biafra, even before we started the Biafra struggle, you come on board and let us move this movement and do wonders and make history for ourselves and our children. I hereby declare the fundraising today open.
Thank you, my PM. I appreciate this talks. I appreciate this information, my very fellow Biafrans. We have heard from our Prime Minister a very brief but very important message that he laid yesterday. Now we have known those who are supporters of Biafra, and now we know those who are working for the zoo called Nigeria. Now we have seen the so-called freedom fighters who claim they were fighting for freedom for Biafra against Nigeria, and suddenly we are seeing them having a wonderful time in Nigeria, enjoying the hospitality of Nigeria, being protected by the Nigerian government, Nigerian military, the Nigerian media, and also the Nigerian politicians. My fellow friends, my fellow people, now you know now deep inside. When they say who is the genuine freedom fighter, you now know it is no other person than Mazi, Ekpa, Simon, and Joko. At this point, my fellow Biafrans, I want to say today is a day that we're going to call this one. It is time for all Biafrans to come on board. You must come on board this time. So at this point, at this juncture, we are calling on all Biafrans to come and support the movement, come and serve the government, come and serve the people of Biafra. It is time for you to come and serve the people of Biafra. It's a call to duty. It is time for you to obey the clarion call and come and support the movement. The days of hanging on the fence, the days of being neutral, the days of pretending as if you don't know what is going, the days of acting as if Biafra is just a thing of the mind, the days of appreciating us from a distance, those days are gone, because it is time for you to come on board. The Biafra of your dream will become a Biafra of reality. Our Prime Minister also discussed the digital currency coin known as the Biafra coin. This is something for those who are into the blockchain. If you're into cryptocurrency, you will know we definitely need something like this, because that is where the world is moving towards. We are moving towards a cashless society. We are moving towards the world of AI, artificial intelligence. And in that world, cryptocurrency, or what they call the digital currency, will be king. It will be the currency of choice. When it comes to medium for exchange, you should see the digital currency as something that will be a thing of choice. So we are lucky that we are having a nation at around this time, at a time when the world is becoming more digital. So I think the Biafran coin is something we should look into. My fellow Biafrans, at this point, I really want to speak on this voting activity, because we need the numbers to keep on going up. It's just less than 11 days that we started this voting activity for the referendum or the self-referendum, and so far we have more than 2 million, according to our Prime Minister, because the Zoom media, they've been calling, they've been contacting, even on social media, they've been asking for numbers because they need updates. They want to update their tabloid, they want to update the news, they want the whole world to know what the Biafrans are doing. And I think it's amazing that in less than 11 days, we have so far recorded more than 2 million votes. My Biafrans, the time is now. The time is now. Biafra is calling. The time is now. It is time to support the movement. It is time to give the widow's mite. Please forget the naysayers. Forget those who have come to distract the movement. Forget those doubters. Forget those they call the doubting Thomases. Those who tell you that Biafra will not come. Those who say instead of Biafra to come, they will rather die. Those who call Simon Ekpa the agent of Nigeria. They say he's working for the Nigerian government. But guess what? The man they said is working with the Nigerian government is the man that cannot go to Nigeria. And those who accuse him of working with the zoo government, they are having a wonderful time in Nigeria. When they travel to Nigeria, they have a jamboree, they have a feast, they have Nigerian security, Nigerian policemen, Nigerian army, Nigerian civil defense protecting them. That should even let the blind to see, to know how to, differentiate those working for Nigeria and those working against Nigeria. If our leader Oyendo Mazenam Kanu, a man we know we were fighting for, a man who was fighting the zoo government, a man who could not travel to Nigeria when his parents died, a man who went on holiday to Kenya just for the climatic conditions. In the time of winter, he wanted warmth and he went to Kenya. If our leader chose Kenya over Nigeria, that tells you that our leader knows when you are fighting against the enemy, you cannot go to the enemy's camp. You cannot go to the enemy's territory. You cannot be a friend to the enemy, and you cannot be hosted by the enemy to claim you are fighting against the enemy. Only a saboteur, only an agent, only a green snake in the green grass embedded in the Biafran freedom should be able to have that luxury, to even have that thought in their mind to travel to Nigeria at a time like this, when we have declared that Biafra will be restored this year. It baffles me sometimes that some of the gullible ones still get it confused. It beats my imagination that in the 21st century, some who still claim they love the job of Mazenam Kanu, you knew what our leader stood for. You knew what Oyendo Mazenam Kanu stood for while he was with us here. While he was a free man, you knew how he despised that zoo called Nigeria. You knew how he was at war with the politicians of Nigeria. But suddenly, those who claim to be the members of the DOS, they are now in bed with the so-called politicians. Now they are saying they love Nigeria. Now they are saying they can make Nigeria to work again. Now they are saying Nigeria can be great again. And now they are saying, may God bless Nigeria. No, I say, God damn Nigeria, not God bless Nigeria. It is God damn Nigeria. We are the real freedom fighters. Mazi Ekpa Simon and Njoku is the real freedom fighters. From his deeds, from his actions, from his words, from his body language, from his inactions, you can tell that he is somebody who is fighting against that so-called Nigeria. So to all the Biafrans, home or away, at home or diaspora, today I am making a clarion call, not as somebody who is holier than thou, not as a man who is mightier than thou, but I come to you as your brother. I come to you humble. I come to you respectful. And I am pleading with you to please come on board. I want you to yield to the call of our Prime Minister to come on board. It is time for you to come on board. It is time to support the movement. It is time to assist our Prime Minister with the good job he's doing. It is time for you to play your own part. It is time to support the good job of the Biafran people. It is time to appreciate the work that the Biafra Republic government in exile is doing. It is time to support financially, spiritually, morally, and otherwise. As they say, there is a time for everything. There is a time for everything. And the time to support Biafra is now. We are in the right season. Do not let Oyendo Mazenam Kanu to be forgotten. You not supporting this movement means you are telling Oyendo Mazenam Kanu to rot in jail. You are telling him you don't appreciate what he's been doing or what got him into the Nigerian DSS detention. Our leader was fighting for Biafra and he told us to pray the book of Psalms before those around him, they were able to delay the movement, because they knew our leader would have declared Biafra at the end, or I will say at the last chapter of the book of Psalms. So while we were praying, they blackmailed our leader. While we were praying, they connived with the Nigerian caliphate. While we were praying, they went into planning with the so-called politicians of that so-called Nigeria. They hired a private jet and they went to Kenya to kidnap our leader. While we were praying for Biafra, those around our so-called freedom fighters, they were smiling and laughing at us, because for 8 days our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was in captivity. For 8 good days, he was chained to the ground. His hands and feet were chained to the ground. He was in a position, the same position where he ate and he defecated on himself on the same position for 8 days. There was no shower. There was nothing to eat. There was nothing to drink. He was just there by himself. My fellow Biafrans, this is very, very sad. That man gave us all. Our leader gave us all. He even gave us his parents. His father and mother died for this movement. My fellow Biafrans, we must not let him down, because we sent him on that mission. We, the Biafrans, the 80 million Biafrans, sent Oyendu on that mission to go and get us Biafra. And while the enemies were rejoicing, while the enemies were having a nice time in a jamboree, popping champagne, drinking wine, expensive wine and alcohol, building hotels with the money paid to them by the Fulani Caliphate for the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they assumed, or they presumed, that Biafra was dead. They assumed that kidnapping Oyendu meant the end of Biafra. But today, I want you to know that the dream of Biafra is waxing stronger. Today, I want you to know that we have gone through the stage of freedom fighting. We are now at the liberation stage of Biafra. Today, I want you to know that we have a prime minister, a man who was the most loved, the most faithful, the most beloved disciple of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today we have a cabinet. Today we have a government in exile. Today we have a cabinet. Men and women from high places, well-educated men and women, men of timber and caliber, intellectuals. And today they have come with a policy for us to go out there and vote, for us to have our own self-referendum. Today we now know that it is possible to do it by yourself. Today we now have a perfect understanding that even though the Zoo government, they chose not to have a referendum in their constitution, we, the Biafrans, we don't have to go with the constitution of Nigeria, because we are not Nigerians and we were never Nigerians in the first place. So my fellow Biafrans, I want us to rejoice. I want us to be glad that we are in the right place. I want you to know that even our leader right now, Oyendu Mazenan Kanu, even though he's in captivity, he'll be happy that at least his job was not halted. His dreams, his desire, his mission, his assignment is still waxing stronger. The assignment given to him by God to bring Biafra is still in the right place, and it's still going towards the right direction. We have men who are capable of making sure we actualize Biafra this time. So our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, these are the two men given to us by God to liberate us. I call them the Moses and the Joshua of our time. My fellow Biafrans, we must support Simon Ekpa in the job he's doing. I come to you today and I am pleading with you that the days of doing caricature, the days of laughing, the days of betraying, the days of hating your brother because he's doing the right thing, let that be behind us. From today, let us say those days are gone. Which is why we are saying it is time for Biafrans to come on board. All Biafrans, we need all hands on deck. I don't care your sexuality. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your belief. I don't care about your status in life. I don't care about your financial status. I don't care if you're home or away. All I'm saying is we all must come on board and support the Biafra Republic government in exile. They have done their part. We gave them an assignment. We gave them a mandate to get us a referendum. And they have gone into planning. They've done a feasibility studies. They've embarked on this project. And now we are able to vote for a self-referendum. What is left is for us to come out in mass and vote. At the end of this broadcast, I want you to go to my comment. I will pin a message on how you can vote. We must vote to free ourselves from Nigeria. We must vote to free our children. We must vote to support the movement. And we must vote to liberate Biafra. From me, from here, for now, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours, Biafra, Superstars, Media. God bless you.